In the latest episode of the Procrastinators podcast, Best Guy Ever mentioned my top 5 best AMVs of all time video, and what he said made me question my own thoughts expressed in that very video. I realized that while making that video, I created a perfect thematic setup for the best of all time format that I utterly failed to capitalize on. No, this isn't me saying, Guy Senpai has noticed me, I must fix my mistakes to please him. This self-indulgent script is an opportunity for me to recognize the flaws in my writing so that I may improve upon them in the future. I initially opened my top 5 list with part 1 of Guy's Gurren Lagann analysis, but after noticing the genius aspects of said analysis, I quickly adjusted my rankings. This action in and of itself mirrors the structure of Guy's video. Best Anime Ever Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann part 1 opens with a boring scene of Guy talking about what he's going to do in a boring fashion, but then the video jumps into an emotional thrill ride that, as I said in my original analysis of it,
this AMV manages to craft 3 narratives into a single sequence. We see the journey of the show, Guy's experiences in tandem with the story, and the evolution of Guy as a person.
The introduction serves as a surface-level facade for how entertaining the video actually ends up being, kind of like Gurren Lagann itself. At face value, Gurren Lagann is an over-the-top adventure with flopping tits and mechs, but that gives you absolutely no insight into how powerful the show's core narrative is. On a similar note, if you clicked off of Guy's analysis in the first 30 seconds, you would miss the emotional journey that follows. On an even smaller scale, placing Guy's video at number 5 before quickly readjusting my list establishes a similar tone. What I didn't understand at the time was that placing Guy's video at number 2 instead of number 1 completely ruins the narrative thread that tied these 3 things together. What's worse is that my own script contradicts itself, as if I subconsciously saw the connection, but it hadn't quite clicked in my brain yet.
Best Anime Ever Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann Part 1 is the best video ever.
Instead of running with the best ever theme, I waved the idea away with no explanation.
Then why is it only at number 2?
My points in favor of my actual number 1 entry don't even measure up.
This video breaks all the conventions of what I consider to be a great AMV, and I fucking love it.
If it breaks all of these conventions, why is it only at number 2? I also mentioned how Guy's AMV captures the heart of Gurren Lagann in both form and function, whereas the Full Metal Alchemist AMV that I ranked above it merely preserves and strengthens the themes and spirit of FMA. It might be a masterpiece in the realm of AMV editing, but the idea behind the AMV isn't as complex. It takes the plot of FMA in a different direction, sure, but its execution is that of a standard AMV. From the Ashes lacks the atypical reaction slideshow or unusual setup that Guy brings to the table. It goes above and beyond the editing standard among most AMVs, but its presentation ultimately falls into that of your typical AMV. Place a song over anime footage, and add some artistic effects and transitions. Because of their differing presentation styles, From the Ashes just isn't capable of creating the same narrative depth that Best Anime Ever can. It's not that the story of the video itself is lacking because of that, but its potential is far more limited than that of the Gurren Lagann video. For instance, if I were to compare Guy's video and the FMA video to my number 3 entry, which video stands out the most? It doesn't help that I failed to grasp the significance of the song either. In the video, I claimed that You Spin Me Round had next to nothing to do with Gurren Lagann, and that statement is ludicrously false. You Spin Me Round parallels the concept of Simon's drill and spiral power that dominates the majority of the show, and if I wasn't a casual pleb, I would have known that. Best Anime Ever Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann Part 1 should have been my best AMV of all time, not because it's titled as such, or because its creator acknowledged my work, but because I stated so in the video outright. I crafted an entire narrative structure around that video being the number 1 entry, and by desecrating that internal narrative, I destroyed the entire foundation of my video, and rendered it a hollow shell of what it should have been. Thanks for watching the video. I thought about writing a video like this about my analysis of My Hero Academia, but the flaws in that script are insignificant compared to this one. If you've made it to this point and haven't yet seen my AMV video, you can do so by clicking the card on the right. If this is somehow the first video of mine you've watched, subscribe to my channel for more anime analysis that are less meta than this one, and follow me on Twitter at MathWiz97x. Until next time, keep on YouTubing.